So today is our first full day in Bangkok, so we've decided to tick off as many of the tourist hotspots as possible. These are the kind of places you see all over Instagram and Facebook, and we've decided to share with you if they're actually worth visiting or not.
So first stop today is one of the most famous and supposedly most beautiful attractions in Bangkok, maybe in the whole of Thailand. So let's go see if it's actually worth visiting.
Welcome to the Grand Palace. This place is absolutely incredible. We've literally been here about 2 minutes and just blown away.
A little tip, it's 8:30 now, which is when the palace opens. It's already pretty busy, so I would definitely get here for opening time. I'm so excited to explore.
It cost us 500 baht each, which is about £11.50. So it's definitely one of the most expensive things to do in Bangkok, but so far it looks incredible.
Yes. So
we'll let you know if the price is worth it later.
So we're visiting Bangkok at the end of May, which means it's rainy season at the moment. And oh my God, whilst it's not actually that hot, it's only about 30 degrees at the moment, and it's not raining, but the humidity, we are literally dripping. It's disgusting, I know, and I apologise for that, but oh my gosh, it's so humid. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's amazing. You can literally see it like sparkling in the sunlight. There's literally so much detail in every single building, and it's incredible to see. I wonder how long it took them to make them. It's insane. It's the sort of thing like you want to touch, but also you're scared to touch because you think you're going to break it, and very expensive, I would imagine. I wonder if it's like, is it actual like gold and jewels and stuff, do you know? I don't know. If anyone knows, comment below and let us know. I mean, might do a bit of Google research and let you know. But this is amazing. I didn't know there were so many like individual buildings here. It's like a little complex of multiple little like temple kind of buildings.
So much detail to everything. It's probably maybe 20 meters long, and every single inch of it has so much detail. Got like someone kissing a random person in a thing. It's probably a bit scandalous, but they're making out behind the bush. It is absolutely incredible. We could probably spend all day here, but there's a lot of places we want to see today. I'm just surrounded by these incredible buildings. It is just mind-blowing that like people created all of this.
So this is how busy it can get if you time it wrong. So we were just about to head in to see the Emerald Buddha when 2 or 3 tour groups both went in. So we're going to leave it a little bit longer till that calms down before we go and have a look.
So on almost every single temple in this complex, each one has these little like bells, and when the wind goes, they make like a beautiful little like chirping noise. It's a lot better than the sounds of tourists talking. So
we're about to go into the temple to see the Emerald Buddha. Beforehand, you have to take off any hats and shoes. I've just taken off my shoes, and oh my God, the floor is so hot. I think we need to go.
So we're just about to enter the Temple of the Emerald Buddha, which is one of the most famous places in this whole complex. Inside there is a 66 centimetre tall Buddha made of emerald and crystal and stuff. Unfortunately, you're not allowed to take your cameras or video cameras inside, but we'll let you know what it's like after we go in.
So the Temple of the Emerald Buddha is Thailand's most important Buddhist temple. The Emerald Buddha was first discovered in the 15th century in northern Thailand. It's made of green jade and it is so beautiful. When you're in the temple, you need to make sure that you're not pointing your feet towards the Buddha. If you're sitting down, make sure you point your feet away from the Buddha. We'd also recommend bringing a pair of socks, especially if you're visiting the summit, as the ground outside the temple can get very hot, as I just found out.
So we've just come out of the temple of the Emerald Buddha. It was incredible.
So beautiful. Obviously you can't film or take photos inside, so you're just going to have to go and visit for yourself to see it. But wow. The Buddha itself, like the Emerald Buddha, sits on top of this huge, like,
monument plinth
thing. All made of gold. It's so, like, sparkly. Yeah. It's huge as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it's incredible. And it's not just the central monument. If you look around the walls and stuff, it's just covered in artwork. It's absolutely incredible.
Yeah. So we've just walked around the corner into the Royal Palace complex and it looks absolutely stunning so far. It was originally the home of the monarch, however nowadays it's only used for royal ceremonies, welcoming foreign dignitaries and for royal guests.
I think we might have accidentally joined a tour group. We just sat down and they sat down around us.
So we just stood in front of the actual Royal Palace building and it looks incredible. It literally looks, I mean, it looks perfect. The gardens are perfectly manicured. The building is just so pristinely clean and it's so hard to describe. It's so beautiful. It literally looks like it could be lifted off a film set and just placed here. You can see the balcony where the royals would stand. The roof is made of gold and it's amazing. That's huge. So we've just finished at the Grand Palace. We spent about 3.5, almost 4 hours there exploring. There's so much to see. We are now going to take a short 5-minute walk to see the Reclining Buddha, which is exciting. We will tell you all our thoughts about whether we think everything is worth it at the end of the day. But for now, we'll see you at Wat Pho. So, welcome to Wat Pho. This is the home of the Golden Reclining Buddha, which we're so excited to see. It costs 300 baht to enter, so it's a little bit cheaper than Grand Palace, but still on the pricier side. Again, as with the Grand Palace, you need to make sure that you cover up, make sure your shoulders and your knees are covered. So, let's go have a look.
Yep, it works. It's like crazy that like you only ever see the Reclining Buddha at Wat Pho, even though it's like such a huge complex as well. There's loads of different temples like that. It's just stunning. Like on the map, there's so much to see. Like that's the Reclining Buddha, but there's all of this that you can see.
We are here.
So in Wat Pho there are 4 temples and inside there is a total of 394 golden Buddhas just like this. The amount of detail in each one, you can see, it is just stunning. So we've wandered around the whole complex for a bit and it's absolutely stunning, but now it's time for the main event. To go inside you need to take your shoes off, but they give you like little bags to put your shoes in so you don't have to like leave them anywhere and they're nice and safe.
So we're just going in. Oh my gosh. That is huge. Look at that. I really think it's one of those things that the camera just isn't going to do justice how big this is. It's like the temple, which you saw from the outside, is huge, and the Buddha is going all the way to the top of the temple.
So just made it to the base of the Reclining Buddha. It's 46 meters long and 15 meters tall, which is just crazy to think about. It's covered in gold, and each toe is just massive on its own, and the whole thing is just stunning. Apparently the Wat Pho temple can be dated back to the 16th century.
Inside there's 108 bronze bowls which represent the 108 auspicious characters of the Buddha. You can buy 108 coins from the entrance, and then you put 1 coin in each bowl for good luck. So I have loads extra. I know I didn't miss that many. Maybe they do so that you can put a couple in. I did see a couple of people doing that. I wonder if they don't bother counting all the coins out and just shove a load in the pot. But hey, let's see if I get some good luck. So it's not just the gold statue. In the Buddha's feet, you can actually see like toe prints, and there's beautiful illustrations made from mother of pearl. It's amazing. The reason that he's lying down is it's meant to illustrate him entering nirvana, so essentially the Buddha dying.
So we've just finished at Wat Pho temple, and it was absolutely beautiful. The Reclining Buddha is very impressive, but make sure to go round and explore the whole complex. We spent about an hour there, and definitely could spend more time there if you wanted to, but it was getting a bit hot, so we decided to come in and get a drink and some lunch. So once we finish our lunch, we're going to head on the other side of the river and check out the next attraction for the day. So we're just about to get the public ferry from one side of the river to the other, because our next stop is just there. So it's a very short distance, but you get the public ferry across, like those people, and it only costs 5 baht, which is literally about 10p each, which is crazy.
So we've just got the ferry across to Wat Arun. It literally took less than a minute. It was so easy, so quick, so straightforward. Definitely recommend getting across that way. When you get here, you go up the pier and you're basically straight in the complex. You buy your tickets and come through. It costs 200 baht. They give you a little stamp on your hand and a free bottle of water. And I think that is such a nice touch. I am so grateful for this. I know it's only tiny, but any water is very welcome. It's very hot. So one thing you can do when you're in Wat Arun is rent a traditional Thai clothes, and then you can go around with a photographer and they're taking photos of people, like really beautiful photos to be fair, in loads of different places. But if you're interested in that, you can do it here. It does look really beautiful. However, there's a lot of photographers and it is a little bit annoying. As you're walking around, it just seems like they're everywhere and it kind of takes away from it a little bit. You're constantly trying to like stop, get out of people's photos. You know, I saw one photographer asking someone to move when she was trying to take her photo. So it's a little bit annoying. But if that's something you're interested in, great. I'm sure the photos will genuinely be beautiful, but for us, a little bit annoying. Oh wow, look at this. That's amazing. I feel like we could see it from the outside, like how detailed it is, but from up close, it's just insane. These temples are so impressive. I can't even imagine how long it takes them to make it. I think the walls here are really pretty as well. They're like white with flowers all along them, and I think that's really beautiful. We haven't seen anything like that at any of the temples previously today. Let's go inside. That's beautiful. looks enormous. Like, I knew that it was big, but I didn't realise it was that big. Being up close just makes you feel like so tiny compared to it. There's stairs up. Obviously you can't go up nowadays, but I wonder how steep they are and how difficult it would have been to climb back in the day. It looks like practically a ladder. I wish we could go up, that would be really cool.
So we were wondering where all the people were, because over in the other complex, it was very quiet, just the photographers and the people taking photos. I think I found where they might have been. This is the main bit. This is what you can see from the other side of the river. So this is where everyone comes, takes their photos, explores. But I can see why, because it's absolutely beautiful.
So it turns out you can go up the steps. These ones are quite steep, but it looks like they get very steep over there. You can't go up all of them, but you can go up maybe a third of the way, a quarter of the way. So let's go see what that's like. Okay, these are super steep. These steps are so big. Having to wear a long skirt as well doesn't help, because I feel like I am going to trip up on it. Ta-da! This is cool. Come up. This is really cool experience, but the path is really narrow and people are taking Instagram photos at literally every indent, and I dread to think how many photos I'm in right now. So we've been here for about an hour now. There's still more to see, but I think we're gonna have to go soon. We are really enjoying it, but look how black those clouds are. And it is rainy season, so I think we are in for a heavy downpour very soon, and we don't want to be caught out in that. Every time I come up to the edge of the stairs, I get a little bit of vertigo. It literally looks like a sheer drop from here. You can't see the next stair. I think going down is going to be much scarier than going up. I hope I don't slip, I will break something. I'm not necessarily the most elegant person anyway, so this could go badly. Let's give it a go. Oh my God, it's really steep. There's nothing to hold on to either. There's no handrail, so. Oh, okay. Slow and steady. Oh, made it. I did. I'm pretty sure I hit that photographer in the face with my skirt. They shouldn't have been so close.
So we literally made it on the boat at the very last second. They left 2 seconds after we got on. So we're going to be able to make it to the other side. Whether we'll be able to find somewhere dry to stay while the rain passes, we'll have to find out, but we definitely can get close. So the rain's just starting. It hasn't hit full force yet, but it's definitely about to. We've got our ponchos on.
We're really struggling to find somewhere to eat though. Everywhere we've been seems closed. The rain's hit.
So the rain has definitely hit now. We're taking refuge under a bridge, but hopefully it doesn't last too long, but it normally lasts about an hour or so, so we might be stuck here for a while. And we're not any closer to a restaurant or our apartment. Luckily these ponchos came in a lifesaver. Thank you, Megan's mum. It's very windy and very raining. Even under the bridge we're not dry. So we've managed to escape the rain and find this cute little restaurant on the side of the road. It's definitely very local, it's very small, just sat on literally in the road. Once we've had dinner, we will go back to our hotel and let you know what we thought of each and every temple and tourist hotspot we went to today, and let you know whether we think it was worth it or not. So no trip to the highlights of Bangkok would be complete without a trip to Khao San Road. It is crazy.
Overwhelming.
Yeah. There's just so many lights, so many people talking to you, shouting at you, trying to offer you massages and tattoos. We've got a leaflet to a comedy club. Yeah, it's just crazy. We'll let you know what we think of it at the end, but so far, intense. Maybe. That was intense. So we've just made it back to the apartment after a quite hectic evening. So we're now going to go over each of the places we went to and whether we think it's worth it or not, and like whether you should visit.
Yeah. So Grand Palace?
Yeah. So that was the most expensive at 500 baht each.
However, I personally thought it was incredible. I think that was my highlight of the day, was the Grand Palace.
Yeah, it was so like massive, just like it went on for miles, and like even walking around the outside it takes ages.
Yeah.
And like each temple on its own was incredible, but like all of them together was truly something special.
Yeah. So I think that personally was my favourite. And I think it's definitely worth visiting. I think even if you're on a budget, if you can splash out for one thing, make it the Grand Palace.
Yeah. So the next was Wat Pho, which probably surprised me the most because like everyone just shows the reclining Buddha, and like you don't expect it to be anything big, or you'd probably just walk in, see that, come out. So that's why I was skeptical. I was like, 300 baht really? It's quite a lot, but I definitely think it was worth.
And we did only spend like an hour and a quarter there. So I guess if you're on a budget, then you need to weigh up
time to price
priorities.
wise, it's probably one of the worst values for money.
Yeah.
And then our final temple of the day was Wat Arun. Just the ferry there was fun. Only cost 5 baht. If you want to just grab a ferry across and just see it from the outside, definitely do that.
Yeah.
It cost 200 baht to get in, so the cheapest of the 3 temples. And sadly, our time was cut a bit short due to the weather. But what we saw, the actual architecture and stuff was beautiful.
Yes.
But
I think it was our least favourite purely because of the crowds and the photographers, like we mentioned earlier. They were just everywhere. And it was by far the busiest temple we went to. We went there quite late as well. It was about 4 o'clock when we got there. I think if I was to miss one of them, it would be Wat Arun.
Yeah.
That being said, it was incredible.
It was, yeah.
And I think it is definitely worth visiting. If you've got the time and you've got the money, then yes, go.
Make sure to climb the steps. Just weaving in and out with people, trying not to get in anyone's way. It was just a lot of hassle and stress.
Yeah.
And it was towards the end of the day for us, so we were a bit tired and seen quite a few temples by that point.
So if you've been to all 3 of the temples before, if you've been to Bangkok, let us know what you thought. I'd love to hear your thoughts, which you think is the best, whether you think they're all worth visiting or not. Be interesting to see, because I know everyone has different preferences and different things that they enjoy. So
especially if you went in like tourist high season, see what it was like then. Like, was it just completely crowds everywhere? You couldn't get a moment of peace to yourself? Because
actually most of the temples weren't that crowded.
No.
It was only when we got to the last part of Wat Arun that we hit the crowd.
And then our final stop of the day, the very famous, very loud, extravagant Khao San Road. An extrovert's dream, introvert's nightmare.
Can you tell which we are? I thought the atmosphere and the vibe was like amazing.
Yeah.
But it's just not really our vibe.
No. If you're into that kind of things like drinking, going like seeing people and
partying, you know, that kind of thing, great.
It's definitely the place for you. For us, we felt kind of overwhelmed and there was just people everywhere shoving stuff in your face.
Like, it was fun.
Yeah.
But it was a little bit overwhelming.
It was fun to walk like straight down.
There are like quieter streets, like there's 2 streets, and they both were really nice, really like upscale, like nice, pretty cocktail bars, that kind of thing. So if you still want to go out, then there are other options near Khao San Road. You don't just have to go there. Overall, first impressions of Bangkok?
It was definitely intense at times, but the architecture was stunning. There's so much to do and see. Like, we've only just scratched the surface with like the main things to do in Bangkok. So our next video will be visiting some of the more hidden stuff in Bangkok. So the things you probably haven't heard about.
Yes.
So that should be really good. We're really looking forward to
Yeah,
that.
I'm excited. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.